ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job, and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special.
When individuals enlist in the military, they are promised stability, education, and a path to success. They are promised the chance to build a better future, to serve with honor, and to secure a place in society. They are promised the American dream. But is the American dream truly a reality for all veterans?
Extremely, extremely sad job.
Just having to shoot at people, kill people, seeing what a weapon really does to a person's body.
Combat is war, right? War is hell. And then you come back to a normalized society that you're running loops in your head. You have to. And that's on a good case scenario rather than losing it.
What was your first hit when you went to Vietnam?
You're in an air-conditioned airplane for about 22, 25, 21 hours or so.
And you take one step out, and the heat is so intense.
And it was as if someone was standing at the door with a blowtorch.
And the second thing that is in anybody's mind is the smell.
And the first night it was raining, and one of the shocking things I saw was I'd seen some guys walking across the street, maybe about 100 yards from where I was, looking outside the bunker, the bunk area, and a rocket came in and seemed like it landed right on their heads. They just disappeared. And you know, then therefore you just say, I'm in a world of shit now, because you say, oh hell, you know.
War is absolutely tragic. There's nothing heroic about war. There are individual actions of heroism, but war itself is not heroic, it's not valorous. It really is just a terrible thing.
My name is Donald Smith, and I was in the U.S. Army, 1st Infantry Division, 1st and 2nd Battalion.
I was hit out in the field by RPG once before. That's the reason I'm here in the hospital. And you know, it's just like a flashback to me. The first, I heard the booms, and all I saw was fire coming out and just spread, you know, out like that. I just know.
You know, being young and dumb, I'm a gun holder to go back on out there, but my top said, Smitty, you just got out of sick bay, you're not going out with us tonight. So I didn't go. The night they went out to set up an ambush sort of backfired on me, and the rotation of people in the squad, the guy in front of me, the position I was in, and the guy behind me were all killed that night. So I'm blessed to be here today. Basically, that's some of my topic, you know, things about being in Vietnam, to, like people say, close calls. So you get me to choke up now. Happens every time. But you know, cause you know, when you start thinking about it, it's like the flashback stuff still affects you. Cause you know, it's real, you know, it happened. I know it happened, cause it happened to me.
When you're in the military, you're trained really well, you do your job. Mm-hmm. And the war can put you through a lot of stress, which gives you some real issues as far as PTSD goes.
It's not what you really did as an individual, but a lot of it is what you saw as an individual. I mean, you see a lot of shit.
And I'm in a PTSD counseling session. I have been for 5 years. It took me 50 years even to join it, because I just thought I had a shitty personality. You know, turns out that, well, the more I learned about PTSD, but there are guys in my group that are 75 years old that still suffer from PTSD and still suffer because of their military service or whatever happened to them afterwards. The war itself was very unpopular. And right now you think the United States is divided? Well, it was even worse then. And it was basically pro-government, anti-war, pro-government, anti-war. At Travis Air Force Base, they used to have these medical planes come in full of guys that were wounded. And they'd have war protesters outside the gate of Travis throwing garbage at the buses and calling us baby killers and calling us all kinds of weird names and all that.
Many veterans enlisted for the guarantee of achieving the American dream, but upon returning, found that the military made them false promises. They faced prejudice and protesters, making it very difficult to find a job and causing further trauma.
A lot of people back then, because they were so down on Vietnam vets, it was like taboo. Nobody really wanted a vet. It's just like a guy getting out of prison. It's hard to get a job because he's a victim criminal and he's been in prison, so no one wants to trust him, type of thing. So you had that stigma hanging over your head. You know, you're a baby killer.
This prejudice, combined with the lack of support during re-entry, has led to the high level of veteran homelessness we see today.
My name is Aleem Williams. I'm a former U.S. Navy. The hardest thing was when my grandmother passed away, I didn't really have any help. So I ended up homeless, drinking. We get caught up in just being too hurt about something we did.
I think the failure is both collectively in the 60s and 70s, and then altogether we're taught to kind of be self-sufficient. Also in the service, I don't know if it's directed enough to where they want you to depend on the service, so when you leave it, it's a little hard. So the guys that are on the street, they don't necessarily want to ask for help. Sometimes they don't even want it.
Think about like a lot of the people that had to live with killing people and know and seen that they laid somebody out. Later on, that sadness is to be like, damn, you know, why did I do that? What have I done? You know, that right there always affect the American dream for somebody to serve.